Okay, we're entering Leo season today. Full moon in Capricorn yesterday, so it's a big, and what's happening in the world. The joint is jumping. A lot is changing. And I think it has to do with the balance being achieved now between masculine and feminine energies. That it was wildly wanked. There's a faction in government and in society in general that is, it's not about the liberation of women, and it's not about, the importance of true spirit. And that's shifting. I really do believe that it's, compared to when I was coming up, nobody was doing this stuff really. And if you were considered completely crazy. And there's still a bit of that. I have friends who think, I don't know what they think. I have some of my men friends have come right out and said, I think this is bullshit. This, what we do here. And and other men who are completely behind it, who totally get it. So it isn't about gender, it's about the balance of male and female internally as well as externally. And one of the reasons we're in such trouble is that the feminine aspect, Empress, Mother Earth, Gaia, has been discounted by a certain faction of patriarchal who want to keep their power and keep the status quo. And the deal is, the status quo is no longer quo. Things are really shifting, and that's a good thing, but it's unsettling at the same time. That's Rue making her visit. She loves the Palo Santo so much that if, when it goes out and it's in the dish, she goes nuts. She rolls around in it. She knocks the cards far and wide, off the table, all the decks. She goes into an ecstatic state. I wanted to talk about, because the full moons are about release, and this morning I was remembering at one point I had very long hair, and at first I cut it myself. It was not a good look. It was a bit Hitler-esque, or Moe if you're familiar with the Three Stooges. So I went to the hairdresser and basically said, what can you do to make it better? And she said, I can't make it better. I got to shave it. Which really wasn't true. She had a bit of an agenda, I think. But down to about 1/8 of an inch. And it was kind of horrifying. But it was also really interesting in what happened. I think that somehow the energy of the hair, once it was gone, came back into my body. I don't know. And people started, I'd walk down the street, and I forgot that because I looked a little crazy, I suppose. But when I'd look up, somebody would be staring at me, but then I'd catch their eye, and it was like they'd look beyond the apparent thing. They'd look at, they were looking deeper into me. At first kind of scared, and then oh, it's you. There's something about when you shed, I don't know exactly what that is, but it was kind of like, you're crazy. Oh, now that I see you, I'm actually seeing you more clearly than all these other guys whipping by on the street who just look like they're in the uniform. Okay, enough of that. The cards always get kind of rebellious at a certain point. So let's see about Leo season release and appearance, like being willing to look a little nuts. Whatever's called nuts by the established order. A few centuries ago, they'd put us on the pyre for that. But we are being marginalized still. We are. Queen of Pentacles. She's come up a lot lately. She, he, they. Because there are certainly men who are balanced with their feminine side. And there are women who have, their masculine side is withered somehow. Earth energy. Earth, they're grounded. They're that very thing I was talking about, the Gaia, the Earth Mother. Coming back into power, the authenticity to go down the street with your hair or without your hair, or, not to worry too much about the apparent thing. Queen of Pentacles is very present and authentic. She doesn't, she, he, they, fuss about with, man, I shove it, sorry about that. Comfortable in their own skin. This is the Seven of Pentacles. It shows somebody in the orchard gathering fruit. Something's ripened enough to harvest it. It's grown enough. The work has been put in and may still be putting in. It's a nurturing energy. There's a ladder up in the tree, up to the tree. It's like having done the work so that you can reap the benefits. Queen of Pentacles, all about abundance. So it's, and I think it's you. You're abundant. You tend perhaps the literal crop too. You might be a gardener, but you're certainly a creative. You're bringing something into the world for more than yourself. And it's something that nurtures people and perhaps feeds the soul as well as the body and soul. Eight of Pentacles. That's like you take the raw material, Seven of Pentacles, right off the tree. Put a pin in that because there's a good story about that. But Eight of Pentacles. Now you've got the raw material for your creative efforts. And it's all about what's happening here. It takes time to do this, but it's in 3D. Where there is a time to reap and a time to sow, a time to, for everything under there's a season. Queen of Pentacles, Moon card. Moon card, card of Cancer, a card of the full moon we just had. When things that are hidden perhaps become apparent. Cancer is a water energy to do with intuition, feelings, the subconscious. So Queen of Pentacles, while very earth, I didn't want to say earthbound, but has a deep taproot. That taproot also goes right into the unconscious. So it's being versant in the 3D and in the, that unconscious realm that informs the 3D. This is how it informs the 3D world card. completely transformative energy. Saturn, the Lord of Karma. The lessons we've learned that have gotten us to this place. Moon card is about cycles, something coming to fruition. The full moon. And what is released is a kind of, I'm trying to find the words for it and I kind of can't. You know, an H-bomb in a good way of energy. You know, the psyche is just stepping through, like breaking through a membrane of some kind. And maybe the unconscious will enter somebody's life in a big way. These are major arcana cards down here. Pentacles are particularly 3D energy. Minor arcana are everyday life. And this is sort of the stuff of our life. The raw materials, and then what we do with them. Star card under 8 of Pentacles. You know, the taproot into the unconscious, into the collective unconscious is so powerful. World, star, moon. All these celestial references. And I think that might speak to the fact that what's happening, you know, down here is reflective of a big shift, you know, in the energetic field, in the quantum field, in everything that is beyond 3D, but that is reflected and that nourishes 3D. What we can do here, what we can grow here through our effort and intention and authenticity. Whatever we're stepping through the portal into the new phase, heals us, heals the world. We're healing the world. Sounds like a big ask, but the more people who kick into that deep vibrational energy that's beyond 3D but informs 3D, the more powerful it becomes. Aquarian energy for the collective. You know, from that higher perspective, the age of Aquarius, the age of change. I think once we tap into that earth energy, you know, we're here on a planet. Like, we didn't just get dropped here by I mean, some people think by a spaceship or whatever, but no, we're of the earth. We belong here. We are walking earth and water. Capricorn, Cancer, earth and water energy, walking water. And to recognize that power and that it's tangible and it's available to us right here, right now, changes everything. A whole new phase, the age of Aquarius. Tell us about the moon, please. Can be a card of fear of the unknown, but no, not followed by world, this stepping through into the whole new phase. And star, divine timing, divine healing, 8 of Wands. I think basically the messages are coming from the unconscious, from the collective unconscious. I mean, it may be happening a bit in your dreams, or in moments when you're just, the cerebral mind kind of quiets down, that the liminal space between waking and sleeping, maybe deep in meditation or something, and in the messages come. Like your unconscious is talking to you. And a wise friend once said to me, tarot is like a conversation with your unconscious mind. It opens up that portal. So, the cards speak in the language of the archetype, the vocabulary that comes from thousands and thousands and thousands of years of our human experience. And our experience with every other thing in creation. Here we are on planet Earth. And yet we're so much more than, we're on star card, Ace of Wands. The new beginning, the inspiration, the direction, the fire. Incoming from the unconscious, the new idea or the new direction, and it kind of pivots us toward the healing. And I think Divine Feminine is taking the lead. And that also includes gender masculine people who accept the feminine energy in themselves and in the world and aren't threatened by it. And women who are similarly in that place. I love it. On Queen of Pentacles, Temperance, fire energy of Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, a card of balance, divine timing. Patience. It's something that happens over time. Pentacles energy. So that basically the quantum field here is balanced by the ability to express it in 3D, to talk about it, to let it move us, Wands energy, movement, let it put us in the flow, into the slipstream, as it were. The flow, water energy, the moon. On Eight of Pentacles, Chariot. This is liberated forward movement. It's like, if you were stuck in snow or stuck in mud or somebody was stuck, this advances the cause. It's feelings that really bring us forward. Two cards of Cancer, cards of deep feeling. We don't have any cups per se on the board, but we have the power of the unconscious mind that connects us all together, the collective. Temperance is balance. Chariot is balance. On the world, Ten of Swords. That's the old cycle wrapping up. Card of Capricorn. Things are happening in Capricorn. I can't quite remember what the transits are, what I think it has to do with Pluto. But both of these signify the end of the old and implicitly the beginning of the new. Entering a whole new phase, having graduated. The psyche is somehow kicking into gear. The old way of thinking doesn't cut it anymore. we've got to develop a new language, a new way of communicating. And it may be a big uptick in telepathy. Not only getting messages in our dreams, but being able to do that. You may have that ability to pick up telepathically what other people are feeling. It's a new language, Ten of Swords. And it's a bit, I like the inflection of this one. It's not swords killing somebody. It's swords kind of piercing this person so the light gets in. It's less linear. It's more in the flow. And it's speaking from the soul level that major arcana plays. But I like it that the upper row now, the 3D row, has these as clarifiers. The card of balance and divine timing, of patience and pace, and this card of speed. Victorious, bringing these two things together, bringing the two things together into balance. Masculine and feminine. Wands are considered masculine energy because they're do-it energy. Fire in the belly. On Seven of Pentacles, the Fool. Card of Aries, another fire sign. Taking the risk. I think this is having invested time and energy. It's time to take the leap. Because Pentacles can be, whatever was happening here was happening in time, and a little bit like I'm getting the image of trying to run in the water or run in snow, and suddenly there's this psychic uptick. This is the last card in the major arcana, the World card. First card in the major arcana, the Fool card. So it's completing, it's seeing the whole cycle through to its conclusion, and then we start again. The universe, I think it's in the Hindu religion, the universe collapses. The lotus grows out of the belly of one deity and blossoms, and that's a world that takes eons and eons, and then the lotus goes back down and retreats back into the navel of the deity, and then back up again and blossoms. And that happens all the time. This happens all the time, within us and without us. And also in the sense of, whether or not we're on board, this happens. Cycles close out, and we have to start fresh. I think somebody's getting a massive download. Swords speak to the brain and thinking and how we perceive things. And, it's a whole new language. Okay. We have Five of Pentacles. Card of deprivation or just feeling unworthy. Like I can't get there from here. 3D life has not cooperated with me. I don't know how to work with it. Pentacles energy. I don't know how to work with it. How does this work? How do we do this? Fives indicate a need for change. And here's another one. Five of Swords. The strife, the struggle, where there's a winner and a loser, where somebody gets all the bounty and somebody else is left out in the cold. That sword energy, Five of Swords, is over. And to a degree, that earth energy, Capricorn, and all these 3D cards, not over, but transformed. 5 and 5 is 10. 10 in Major Arcana is Wheel of Fortune. The need for change. And here it is. You know, and in fact, there's the ability to grow more. The misconception, sword energy, is that these two are not reconcilable. How can we, how can we take care of everybody's needs? How can we do that? Well, first by making sure we're shored up. You can't give what you don't have, no water from a stone. So when we invest in ourselves and take care of our immediate environment, that advances the cause for the planet, for the world. We're entering a whole new era, Two of Cups, that involves connection and love. Mutual giving. There's the Cups energy coming in, Two of Cups. And was the way here easy or smooth? No. And do we always need to return to, the love of each other? Yeah, because there is strife, there is struggle, there is deprivation. We are abandoned sometimes. We abandon other people sometimes. We get into the ideological clash. And sometimes we have to. These are cards of change. Like radical change, radical trust needs to, step in and do its thing. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. That's the seed of the new thing. That's the inspiration, the creative spark. And here it is coming through into 3D. Having grown it, having tended to it, having invested in it, having crafted it in a hands-on, Pentacles way, hands-on, boots on the ground. Ace of Pentacles, tell us about the new growth. Page of Cups. It's how do you approach with love? How do we discover the new way to manifest that in 3D so that nobody's Five of Pentacles out in the cold? I mean, these guys are not in good shape. Actually, they don't look so bad here in traditional Rider-Waite. There's a guy on a crutch with one shoe, and his companion, the woman, he's leaning on. Here, they both seem to be quite intact inside a sanctuary. They're taking sanctuary, and light is pouring in through the stained glass. I think for now, they're safe. And I think, the agency that got them to the safe place was love. Out of strife. Okay, one more. Page of Cups. I always say one more, and it's more than one more. Four of Cups. I think this is somebody who's manifested this cup. They've gone into a kind of reverie, and they've envisioned it. Like they've felt it in their heart, and suddenly, boop, it pops in as an offering from the universe. But it's in the guise of another person. It might also be somebody apologizing that it took so long. All this Pentacles energy. A year or many years. And somebody felt like they'd been abandoned. Cups energy, they felt it. They felt like somebody had ignored them, or some opportunity had passed them by, that maybe their love offer wasn't accepted. I think love is coming back in a little at a time. And that somehow to hold the vision of it is really important. Despite, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. King of Pentacles. That's a great way to end, because, that's that balance. Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, masculine, feminine, within and without. Both people stable and authentic. Both people present in like real time. Not just in the 5D, although that's very strong too. Highly intuitive healing energy. In the collective, like we're building it. There's a permeable membrane. So when we do our own work, 8 of Pentacles, it carries over to other people. Where's that ace? There's more and more potential energy because we're sharing it. Sharing our feelings, sharing our resources, forgiving each other, asking forgiveness, beginning anew. And I think the internal balance brings the real life, present person, who matches and balances you in divine timing. Might be in Sag time, the end of the year. World card can signify a year. So there is a lot of timing here, the moon cycles, the year cycles, but it's much more than that. And it's leading us in a wonderful direction. And it might not feel that way right now. Hard times. Some people are really experiencing hard times. They feel embattled. They feel abandoned. But we can bring love to each other. We have the capacity to do that. The moon, Chariot, both cards of deep feelings in Cancer. The willingness to take the risk. And healing all over this. Yeah, I think that's it. Well, it's a choice. In Wands energy, which path do I take? I don't think either path is a big mistake, but the stave and one arm are lit up. So I think the decision has been made. King of Wands. By somebody who knows what they want. And what they want is to transform. They want to roll with it. To transform, to step through the portal, to end an old cycle, old way of thinking, and step into, again, air energy, but Aquarian. The higher perspective, the collective language, and the collective way of thinking about things. That's what'll heal us. That's what'll transform us. It's a new era. This is a cohesive read. All right, you guys. I love this for you. I love this for us. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and all of that. I'll see you next time.